Hello, thank you for watching the demo of Nandan Pinnacle Business Insights. We are sure this will be an exciting demo for you to see the capabilities at a very glance. So, Nandan Pinnacle Business Insights is part of the Nandan Group, and the Nandan Group is having its interests in aviation ground support equipment, material handling systems, theme park rides, defense equipment, and the software business. So, Pinnacle Business Insights works with ERP and business application softwares which are customized for the customer needs. We do a specialized software called the CMMS for maintenance activity tracking, and it can be used for fleets and asset management also. Then it's whatever we work, it's always on the cloud because we believe that's the next big solution which gives benefits, and this can be accessed on computers, laptops, mobiles, tablets, etc. Nandan Pinnacle Business Insights is driven by Raghunandan Jagdish, who himself is an entrepreneur, and Sachin Pense, who has 20 years experience in the IT industry. We have a full-fledged team, and we are based in Navi Mumbai. And because of the connectivity, we can deliver throughout the world. Since we mentioned that this is for SME product and this has been designed by an SME company, so some of the questions that always hit a growing SME be like, your question. This Nandan Pinnacle Business Insights is a product for the SME by the SME. So, one of the problems or the problem statements that face every organization is it would say that the organization is facing serious hurdles in giving the time of the owner and attention to every detail for decision making in my organization. I want to grow, but I am unable because I don't have a team that is capable of the growth I desire. So when we say a team is, when we want a team to be built, it's never as per what your aspirations are, and there can always be better. So the possible reasons for this, failure of huge growth could be that you have scattered information, there is inaccurate information, incomplete data, untrustworthy word, and too many softwares. Because every SME always wants to, integrate bits and pieces of the software, and then slowly there is so many that there is confusion what's happening. And the effect of this is there is a lot of time consumption, there is incorrect decision making, there is a delay in decision, there is no credibility and lack of synchronization. So if you need to go in for a business expansion, you want to improve your efficiency and effectiveness, increase profitability, you want a closure of your deals to be much faster, and you want to reduce your operating costs. These are some of the reasons why you need to implement an application. So PBI, which is Pinnacle Business Insights, is the way forward for you. If this works for all companies, if you have a system already, if you don't have a system already, if you're already working with an ERP which is not suiting your needs, PBI can come in at any every stage and help you grow your business in a much faster manner. We always believe that we want to get the business information for you in the right screens in the right time, so there is better visibility of decision and control on the critical ones, because the decisions that is taken by the owner will always have a certain background which somebody else might not be able to give, but to get that decision from the owner takes a lot of time of everybody. So if we can get a system where the owner still makes the decision but in his convenient time, there is a faster reaction to the changing business needs, processes are streamlined, there is improved collaboration. There is a study which is done by the MIT in a lot of SMEs, which sees that the moment there is improved collaboration within the own company and people talk to each other and they share information, there is an immediate implementation of a 30% improvement in efficiencies, which is phenomenal in margins which are gone wafer thin. And this you will be able to do a better throughput both in the top line and bottom line. You can get products to market much faster, and because the employees are now part of the system, they are converted from being just an employee, and it will help them believe it's our company. You can serve customers better through the CRM, you can improve the productivity, and you can also propagate your vision of success. How PBI works with you is, this is a very broad minded demo. Please feel free to call on us for a more detailed one. We will evaluate your needs. To what level do you want the software to go? We will configure the solution for you, because we are not just giving you a product, we are giving you a solution. We will implement it, we will train your people, we will come and demonstrate the benefits that happen, rather than just giving them screens. And rather than saying what is to be entered, we will say why it is to be entered, and then there is a support for the product that goes on. The Pinnacle system is very unique compared to competition. There are lots of bigger players who are making these softwares for larger corporates. It is just being packaged as a SME solution and given, which is not the right way, because one size does not fit all. The large boy solution is very expensive. This is a much more affordable system, which is basically given an SME pricing. There is also no need to buy any other license products. Like if you need to do quotations, you would typically need to do a word processing tool, so that it's maintained. Whereas by using an ERP, everything is in one place. The numbers are automatically put in. You can retrieve it very quickly. You can make PDFs on the system. You can mail it to the customers using the system and all that. It's hosted on the cloud. Basically, cloud means a central server which is always online. This would be done with very reliable hosting providers like HostGator, JustHost, or Amazon. This enables an automatic backup policy, which is your data is always secure. It is always prevented against attacks by viruses or hackers. So it's always a very secure system. Security can be implemented such that it can only be used within your office, or within your uh, these many laptops only can access it, or these many mobiles can access it. So those securities can be enabled to make it for your peace of mind. And also you don't need to bother about buying a server in the first place for your office dedicated for the ERP, which has to be a high end and expensive one. This is very easy to implement, because the software has been designed from scratch with the view that the people using it are not very tech savvy to begin with. So we've had cases where there are team members who are like 12th pass, and they use it within the second day, and by the end of the first week they're already experts at it. So our implementation is typically 1 week to a month in the worst case scenario, and the owner's push or the desire to get this will always get it up in the fastest way. This is a growing system, so at any time when we want to add a new module, or we want to make some changes, NPBI will always grow with your needs. It is designed by the SME for the SME, which is the strongest and the most important feature that goes into this. It has been developed live on a lot of factory systems. It has been made with talking to a lot of consultants. It has been made with the utilization and customer feedback, and that's how constantly it goes up. You don't, there are not too many jargons in the system, so people don't get overawed by using it. Accounting is with Tally. This ERP is a non-financial ERP, so we always recommend accounting to be done with Tally. But there is a Tally connector, which will ensure that the data between Tally and the ERP is always synchronized, and one will be the master, other will pull up the data. For example, your sales invoices could be made in Tally because it's got excise and everything else, and from there it is pulled onto the ERP. So in the ERP, once it is dumped, the analysis can be carried out, the reporting can be carried out, it can be attached to the customer. You can have beautiful analytical trends made, but Your basic statutory compliances are done with Tally there. Reports, email reminders, your business intelligence, SMS, the calling through the system, QR codes, tablets, these all can be the latest technology which is being used in the world, and within some time it will be implemented in your own factory. So you're working at par with the best technologies that are available. There is a reduced paperwork, so again you're saving the environment by not generating massive amounts of paperwork and also causing a retrieval problem by storage and retrieval problem. And always when you give the data at the source, I'll just give you an example. Suppose your raw material has been delivered, and from a purchase order which is given in the system, your storekeeper would take a small tablet or a mobile phone which you would have given him. He would do a barcode scan on that device, and automatically the GRN screen pulls up, and all he needs to do is verify that the items are right. If there is a rejection, he rejects it on the source, and the moment he presses the like received button, automatically this item is added to the stock, your stock valuation is gone up, your POs are closed, and these multiple activities are happening together. In the olden days, he had to go create a GRN, he had to go enter that into his whatever system that was there. By that time it's already half the day gone. Same thing happens with consumption. Suppose that item is consumed for a particular project or a job, the moment the job project manager or the stores person issues it to that particular job, automatically your stock is reducing and your work in progress is increasing. This helps you your valuation. And Nandan is working on always implementing the newest technology ever, because in the trends in technology are months and not years old. So, and because this is on the cloud, it's very easy to keep on updating. And to your good benefit, since this is a software as a service product, you do not pay extra for those technology changes, and it happens complementary. Most of the time, you might not even know about it. This is a broad level look at the different modules that exist in the system, basically a standardized product. Anything more than this can always be customized for you. There is an admin module, which there is always a super admin, one from the NPBI side and then one from the company side, who is designated with a super admin password. This person can create roles, users. There can be important reports that can be accessed from there, exception reports, templates, company details, masters. That is, whatever drop downs you have, could be industry type or could be location. These are created in the system so that you get better and more structured data. And also you can access the user logs. That is, you can actually know which user logged into which module and at what time and what did they do. These are very important as an audit track, so that you can create and check the usage of the system so that it's never misused. A lot of internal collaboration tools are available, like tasking and internal reports. This is a big step over emailing, because emails tend to get lost out in this. All your letter management and reference registers are made online. It can be used as a fully featured email client, such that all your communication is done from within the system, both internal as well as external, and they're all logged in together. The biggest implementer of the NPBI would be the customer relationship management. That's the CRM. So in the CRM module, there is a client list that is maintained. So with this, all the details of the client, client or vendors or anybody else is kept together. Your leads are maintained. So this is for your cold call management, long-term leads, sending cold mails, whatever. And the beauty of all this is it's happening through the system, so it's always logged. So at any given time, you can just go and say, okay, I want to know about customer X, and you get a 360-degree view of all that. Enquiries can be handled, that is, you can pull the inquiries from different systems. There can be replies in standardized manner. There can be escalation to the supervisor or this. There can be targets, SLAs, and matrices compliances. Quotes can be made in the system. Again, this is done through an approval basis, so that the right quote always goes out and there is a final approval authority for that. And finally, when the order is booked, the sales order comes into the system such that the different nuances can be structured so that you automatically get a more structured flow out. Operations is a highly customized like offering, so depends on whether your needs are customized or then your needs are radically different. NPBI will explore the option of giving you that correct version. With this, the job cards can be maintained for life. Document management can be done. This even helps people who have massive amounts of data associated with each project. And the moment the project is done or during the time, everything can be put onto the system itself such that retrieval becomes easier. You can do a material resource planning because of the bill of material. Customized operations flow can be maintained if you have the project being moved from one terminal to another terminal or one process to another process. All these can be mapped out, and because it is mapped, you can do an automatic like gradation in terms of where exactly the project is, which gives the management a bird's eye view of the whole place where you are. You can do a work study and material study in terms of how much labor is gone into it and what is the other process, which in turns affects your cost centers. Inventory has inventory records. You can do an inventory management in terms of LIFO, FIFO, or what is your minimum reorder level. You can raise purchase orders. You can send POs to the different vendors. You can do vendor RFQs, that is bidding for your different materials. So you can send, rather than calling 10 vendors, you would just send them an email out through the system in a specific format and then ask them that these are the materials required. They get a vendor login and just need to feed in info, and you get a summarized view of the whole activity sheet. There's a service module which helps you take care of support tickets so that the relationships with the customers are much better because now you can track your SLAs on this. There are extensive reports and dashboards. These are very graphical in nature, which helps to then which helps the management get a better perspective and plan in a better manner. And finally, since we are recommending Tally in a big way, we talk about a Tally integration which helps you sync invoices, GRNs. Then the reports are all made in Pinnacle, so it makes it easier for you to have it as a one point solution. You can view your Tally data on mobiles or tablets and finally create customized reports. Hi, we've set up a small demo for you to just look around the features of Pinnacle Business Insights and actually get a first-hand view of how useful it might be for you. Please note that everything in the system can be customized, and depending upon your need, we can go ahead with that. This is hosted on a commercial hosting provider so that the security and ease of use is in. So for you as a customer, it will basically be plug and play. That is just typing in a URL into any browser on any platform, and it can go through. This will work on Linux, on Windows, on Mac, or your Android tablets or Chromebooks. All of them will do work. So in this case, we've created a fictional demo company called ABC Demo Company, and the whole thing would be customized towards that. So there would be a URL which is customized for you. From there, you would get a login screen. So I just get login. So the beauty of this is it'll check the security policies, whether this is a registered computer, and if you're logged in somewhere else, it'll log you out of there, and if not, you would directly get to your dashboard. We will talk more about the dashboard a little later, which is customized to what your needs are. There is an admin console, which is basically for the administrator of the company, where they can set up all the like settings. You can manage the roles. The roles are again defined as per your needs because these define the access rights. So once the roles are created, like in this case, it could be a contractor admin, purchase admin, vendor admin, whatever. And then from there, each of the users is assigned to the role. So this makes it easier to do a user management, as well as if the user is elevated to another role, or if the user is terminated, or if a new user has to be added. the admin can do it in a very simple manner. So users again, creating new users is very easy. There is an email as well as a mobile for each of the users that is registered in. Using the system is very simple because if somebody can use an email, they can definitely use the ERP from day one, is what we believe. In the CRM bit, one of the most powerful features is in doing the whole activity in a ERP with respect to doing it in offline methods like an Excel sheet or a Word sheet or maybe even registers, is that here the information keeps growing over time. So you could have done 250 jobs for a particular customer. You could have raised, 200 odd POs for a vendor. All this can be seen in a couple of clicks, which is much easier to retrieve and it makes much more informational sense. So when we look at the main screen of the accounts, all the accounts whoever is related to the company is there. Here, as we said, an account is basically defined for everybody: a client, a vendor, a dealer, a distributor, a press, collaborator, whoever, influencer. All of them are put in as a new one. So if you have something in Excel, it can be structured in, and you can do a one-time import such that your 20 years data is uploaded within a day, and it comes live on the system just like that. So let's just give an example of what is created. So when you click on a client screen, you can see their basic info here, which is a standard billing address and everything else, and their main mail ID. And then if you see within the client feature, you can see all the contacts in the client, all the leads that they have given, all the inquiries that have been generated from the customer, all the quotes that have been given to the customer, sales orders which are received from them, all the jobs that are made for them, any tasking and support tickets. So you got a 360-degree view of the customer per se, which is much better feature. And then when we have the contacts within the company, there could be one contact or 100 contacts. They're all going to be in the system here, and you can also integrate the calling features wherein from the computer you can actually call them, so that all your calling is recorded and tracked through the system. There's a very powerful mailing list feature. This works with as many. This is not designed for mass mailing, but it is designed to basically mail your customers. So you can filter it very quickly by industry or by the type. If you want to mail all your customers, you can just do this, and automatically all of them are filtered down. Then sending a mail to all of them is as easy as just clicking this. Right? There are a lot of templates that are put in. So suppose you want to send a monthly mail to all the clients, which is could be a touch point, or could be your your newsletter or something like that. So all you need to do is click this, and then this is coming from a template now, so it's very standardized mailing that's happening. This looks more like a email interface, so people, or a word interface. So people are going to be very convenient, and people are going to be very comfortable about using the system. So here we've just shown small mailer that has been created as a template, and that's going to go to all of these people as a single mail each. So one will not see who all of the other people is going to, and you can insert pictures, you can insert links, you can insert YouTube videos, you can create tables, and it's a very powerful rich text editor. And from here, when the send button is pressed, automatically a single mail is gone from this ID to all of them. And this, of course, the default CC is also defined, so it automatically comes to your mailbox too. So, and then again, the beauty is that once you send the mail across to that particular client, you can always go to their 360-degree view, and then when you say sent mail list, it will actually show what are the different mails that have been sent to this client across all modules. So this also works as a good audit tool. If the salesman says he has sent a mail but it doesn't mirror on the system, the benefit of doubt is always with the system. The list of all the clients that the company has will be seen at a glance. Within this, you'll see all the different jobs that have been done for them, all the contacts that are there within this particular client, and all the follow-ups. We'll come to the follow-ups in a bit. And there is always the totals which are shown. Please note these can be customized. That is, if you call your client a customer, your people will actually call this, look at this and say it's a customer list. Or if your suppliers are called vendors and not suppliers, you will see it as a vendor. So all these are customized to your exact needs. We have something called the leads. So here, as explained, we begin the leads as something which could be a cold call or a business input that has been got, and you want to take it forward. Suppose the salesman has been assigned to call 10 different companies. So he would actually go create the company. He would say it's a new lead. It is assigned to whom? What is the source of the lead? Let's say it's a cold call. And here the description would be all like, put up like could be that call this company and find out what the leads are. So once this is made and saved, this is assigned to that particular salesman or that particular team member, and they would just maybe do a call or maybe do an email again through the system. So at any time when they need to see this, that's here. Any contacts that exist will all be seen here when you click on the lead view. And this is the follow-ups. This is again a consistent feature that is happening in all the modules. This is for ease of communication, so that within the team everybody knows what has happened. Again, when I say within the team, it is whoever needs to know. And this is now a sales module. All the people in the sales, that is the salesman, the sales manager, or the VP, the CEO, the MD, it can be determined. So the moment he clicks on the internal send mail, the predetermined mailers are going in. So suppose here he would say that called up, and the customer said to send us a catalog, this. So once he does this and presses save, this mail is automatically going to all the team members of this, and he doesn't need to inform each one individually. So this collaboration feature becomes very powerful, and this is then logged in the system. So for this particular lead, all the communication that has happened within the customer, with the customer, or like without the customer, etc., is all logged here. And now regarding this client, suppose a mail has to be sent for this lead, let's say attaching the catalog. So from here he would just say send external mail. So we are integrating the mailbox into the system such that everything is put in together. Automatically you can see that the entire address of the customer is pre-formatted, and from here you can just choose whoever from the client you want to send it to. Maybe there are 200 contacts, but you only need to send it to 3 of them, so you will only choose those 3. Then you will choose a template, let's say initial marketing info mail. So these templates are created by the admin user. The beauty of this is they're reusable content, so it goes as a standardized like mailer. Every time he doesn't need to copy paste from some place where there is a master to be created and all that. So the admin creates the template and he can keep revising it. From that point on, whoever uses a template will always see the latest version. So your versioning is maintained in a very easy manner. And once he does this, you can add additional mail IDs if required. Okay. And then you can click on add attachments. Okay. If your company has a lot of reusable files like brochures, banking data, etc., they're all put into the system as attachments. So all you need to do is just say click and attach files. So you don't need to keep uploading again and again. Or it could be that this particular client has a very specific attachment which is not on the system. They could just go and say ad hoc attachments, and you can upload it from your computer. Okay. You can just say upload or drag and drop. Very intuitive. You can just say attach. Whenever your mail size goes beyond 2 MB, it does gives you a warning, because not all mails accept that many. And once this is done, all they need to do is mail. So this has got a default CC which cannot be changed in the system. So because of this default CC, whatever mailing is done in the system, a copy is always sent to this default CC ID. So if you would see this this is the mail that was done, that he says called up and did this, and within a couple of seconds this mail is to be sent. So this mail had been sent at 6, that is just about now, and unfortunately I forgot to put in the template, but that's the entire mail goes there, your attachment goes along with it, and this has gone to the customer, and this is gone basically on the email. So the beauty of this is that it comes into your mailbox also, but primarily it remains onto the system. So at any time when you want to see what is the different correspondence done with the client, you have it at glance there. So this is the mailing feature. From your leads, when they're certain that it's going to be converted to an inquiry, all they need to do is press the E button. This button here, E, is converting the leads into an inquiry. So whatever data was there in the lead stage is now carried on to this. Any attachments could be put, these could be drawings or photographs of the site or whatever. The lead sources can be structured so that later on an analysis can be done, that how many leads were given from India Mart, how many from Trade India, etc. Any references that we need to give for them is there. All the contact names could be there. If it is not there, it can be created on the fly, where it just says new contact, and then just say create contact, or else you can choose one from here itself. There's a typical amount that needs to be given. This is only a judgment call. We have done a lot of validation which is compulsory. So in fact this comes from the masters itself. That is, if Tata Motors is logged in, it is already put in as an industry of auto industry, so that your validations are done in a better manner. Inquiry received date and the expected close date. So all these come here, and there could be an internal mechanism for analysis of this particular inquiry if so desired. That can be made in as a template. So here our sales guy needs to answer these questions regarding that, so that you can qualify those leads in a much better manner. So once this is done, now see, if this is not filled in, it will actually ask you need to check the zone out and the product family for what it is made for. So this way now the lead is converted to an inquiry, and you can see it here. So the inquiry has all the data from the leads put up here, and again the same modality as was done in the leads. In the view page you can see all the details that were there. You can add follow up here, and then this is an internal, could be that they talk to the customer, he is told about a certain deviation in the requirement or whatever. Before the quote, whatever details are happening are put here, but you can see from the previous date, from the lead stage, whatever the follow-ups have happened have been carried over to this. You can send an external mail from here too, so everything is ready. And now once the inquiry is clear cut, now all they need to do is just click on the quotation button. Right, so this is the inquiry, and when they click the Q button, which is for the quote, this inquiry gets converted to a quote, so that again all the information is carried forward, and the quote can be structured to as you want it. The address, everything is picked up from the system again. Your contacts are picked up from the system. You can give a subject, technical offer. You can choose multiple contacts from the client also. You can do some little analysis with respect to you can see this this is a certain probability matrix that is done. It's called the band TTC analysis, which is again depending upon your company's need, as each item has a certain rating. So as each one changes, your probability of the quote also changes. So this is a very important tool to qualify the lead such that the decision maker can then step in a much better manner. And once this is all seen, there is a quote template. This is the covering letter to the mail which is going to go. So here we would just call it like, let's say, quotation submission. So by doing this, there's a standardized mail that is going out. The two IDs have been selected and the default CC have also been selected. Your terms and condition are to be selected here. This is your terms and condition for sale. Could be mentioning about excise, VAT, your commissioning charges, etc. And then finally you can add your products. These are coming from masters again. So you would just choose the product family, product model. The default pricing is already coming into this, can be changed if required, and the specifications and optional extras. This is again customized as per your need. If you have a single one-page quotation, it can be made as per that with the discount and everything put in. Then you would just say add more. You can add more products. Okay, so let's say 20,000, 2,000 here, and 20 rupees each. Automatically the totals are done. So once this is all ready, you would just press preview. Again it will validate. So this is, let's say there's a your reference, so just say preview. Okay, this is now the quote is created. All this is created. You can see without going out of the system, without doing any copy paste, without using your mail software or your Word, this entire thing is created. This can be structured for a printable version which is called the PDF. So if you just click the PDF button, you can take a preview how it looks. It's all ready. This has barely taken me 5 minutes to get it from the lead till here. Now quote statistics can be viewed. So here it shows what all is the different ones. So when the team review is happening, this is a very important tool. Like the CEO might want to sit with all the quote decision probabilities greater than 80%, or the time frame is in this month or the next. Any follow-ups that have happened to the quote is put up here. You can see it's differentiated into internal as well as external, both ways. All the contacts for that customer is there. You can keep adding contacts as it happens, so the system can keep growing. And this is the info from the inquiry that is carried on. So once the salesman has created the quote in this manner, all he needs to do is send for approval. The system has already marked out an approving authority. The mail is sent to them, right? So mail like this is sent to the approving authority. It gives a summary of the whole mail. It gives the internal remarks, so that immediately the this could be the GM sales or it could be the CEO. All they need to do is just say click on here. It comes back to the screen. Right, and then there will be an approve button. So once the approve button is clicked, the mail is sent to the customer. So all this is happening through the system itself. So everything is then taken care of in the system. So you can see the statuses of the quote which is created but not sent. So this can keep building up. When the quote is sent to the customer, it is now gone. It gets locked. It cannot be edited anymore. This has already been approved and sent to the customer. You can see that the moment this is done, mail is sent to the mail as well as a task is created for the approving authority. It reminds them that the quote had to be approved or whatever. And once the quote is approved, again to the salesman, there's a reminder put in to call the customer and verify whether it's received or not. This is typically done 2 days later. So when they go to their home screens, right? So you can see here, quote approval required for this particular quotation. Then today this one which was done, it says quote approval required for this particular quotation. So the moment you log into the system, you can see these, and all our statuses are done in TOC methodology. That is, we are using color codes instead of just writing the date. So if the task is already overdue, it will come as a red. If it is current, it will come as green. It is short term blue, then long term 10 days. I mean more than 10 days, it will come as a white. So that's how this whole thing is structured. Once the task is done, the moment this is ticked, the task gets disappeared from this the next time you log on. So ideally everybody wants to keep their front screen uncluttered. They want to finish all their tasks. That's in an easier manner. Once the code can again be structured to be also doing a pro forma invoice, a quotation, pro forma for advance, pro forma for order or whatever. Once this code is received by the customer, and let's say this order has been accepted by them, this is then created into a sales order. So again, by clicking a button called add SO, he is able to create, this is the customer PO date is here. So this is the customer's address which is already there. So now this is a sales order. That is, the customer has given a PO to us. This PO number is this, and this is the sales order date, the progress, who's the basic salesperson for this, and once it is saved, it becomes a sales order. So it gives a list of all the sales orders, what is the sales order value, what is the amount received from them, and what is the balance amount. So a little more detailed work is to be done by the salesman. He has to do a contract review, so that he mentions what is the supply order value, is there a compliance, is there a penalty clause, it is filled by whom, when is the expected delivery date of this particular project or purchase order. The scan copy of the PO can be put up here. It could be a scan copy of the PO there. If you have a scan copy of the quotation, an ink-signed copy, you can do that, or else put a PDF. You can give the price breakups here, and in the remarks you can just do a contract review if you have any and put it up there. So if you have a certain checklist, you can do that. Please note, all these are specific to your company needs. If you're not doing something and you don't want to do it, you can definitely skip that up. So we can make it up in that way. So this way the supply order has been booked. Now this supply order could be consisting of multiple jobs. So step one is the system goes and checks that for this client what are the different jobs in the system, and from that it shows it here, and this is the jobs for the sales order. It shows that this job 2014156 is part of the sales order, so the tick is mentioned there. With respect to the sales order, there can be project updates. Any attachments that are kept along with this are put along with this. This could be approved drawings, this could be contract review, signed copies, this could be documentation. As I said, this is your filing cabinet for perpetuity, so you would use it in that manner. What are the contacts, follow-ups, and finally quote and proforma. You can create proformas from the system and keep on sending him, maybe for advance payment, for stage payment, and all that. And there is also this ledgers that are maintained. You can add invoices or you can add ledgers. So in add ledgers, all the payments that you receive, you just say payment and the amount. Okay, any reference to that could be the check number, could be the UTR code, and if there is an attachment, you can also do an attachment onto that. So let's say that this is a scan copy of the check, so that's put there, and when you say save, right, then we go back to the screen and check out the ledger. This is added up today. So now it shows that totally you have received 17,000 rupees. The sales order value is 25,000. So you have received an advance of 17,000. The system automatically knows that. When you want to add an invoice, suppose you have done the invoicing already. So when you want to add the invoice, just choosing the job number, automatically these are chosen. If there's a reference number that will come there, could be your invoice number 3 or whatever, and the amount. Okay, you're choosing the tax category. Okay, we have not determined that, we have not defined that here yet, but you can define the taxes which are there again in the masters. Could be an excise plus VAT, or only service tax, or could be VAT 5%, VAT 12.5%. All these come from masters. So the moment you choose that tax category, these tax amounts are already updated, and then finally you can add an attachment if you want, and then just say save. Right. So this way the The ledger is basically now a running balance of all the invoicing that is done and all the amount that have been received from this particular client for this particular supply order or the sales order. Any attachments can be seen. So it's always a good idea to just copy this and then send it to the customer as a running ledger, which makes it easier for the accountant as well as for the customer. And project updates can be done to the client from this. So title is project update. It's always a good idea to keep mailing the customer and informing him what's happened, maybe on a monthly, weekly, half weekly basis. So you can create a template and then they just need to give, maybe if you want to attach pictures, you can do that. If you want to attach attachments, you can do that. The tools have not come because there is no default tools selected, or you can put that up here and then pressing save or sending mail. This mail would go to the customer with all these details and then it will be documented here as a follow-up. There is also an estimator feature. There is also an estimated feature which is again customized to your needs. Not everybody needs it that way. So this is the CRM module. Hello, we will show you the operations modules. So you can call them operations, you can call them projects or anything like that. The start point is the jobs in process. So these are all jobs which are happening right now. Each one can be like created in a matter of like minutes. All the details regarding the job are put up there. You can have a job owner, a QC in charge, a marketing in charge from your internal team. All the specifications that are related to the job can be just added just like this. So if you have a code where the specs are there, you can just copy paste or they can just write. You can attach documents by just clicking on the button here and just uploading it from your system if that is there. You can attach photographs, you can attach videos, tables, whatever else you want, you can put it up there. In the the contract review which was done in the sales order stage will be coming here. Attachments, if any, could be all the drawings that are related to this project could be put up here. Again, you can do access rights to the minute level that production guy will be able to only view the tables but not add, or somebody could be able to add the files but not view them or edit them or delete them, of course never not. The bill of material for this job is going to be here. Tasking related to this job is here. So now the good part is there is tasking which is common across all the modules. So suppose related to this particular job there has to be a task given to a team member. All you need to do is add task and automatically the documents are the fields which need to get populated are already populated. All you need to do is give the task. If you click on this, an email will go to this particular person. And just say save and add another. By default the due dates are 3 days later. You can always change that. And now the task is gone. So you would go to the mail and you would be able to see the task at that point. So coming back to the job, in the production the non-conformities that happen are logged in. This is again towards your ISO compliant as well as your quality requirements. Inspections for this project can be logged in here. This can be done in great detail if you have a client will really appreciate your quality processes if this is done. So you can actually do things like log in specific things and let's say painting and then say items checked, what is the design data, actual data, remarks, then finally is the status okay or rework management is to be done or is rework complete and when was it closed. So these information is also kept in the system. The logs can just be put in. These are like just updates about the project, anything that they want in free text. Work study is done. Work study can also be customized to your needs, where you can mention which kind of labor is working on what task on your job. So this over time when you keep building this up, you can immediately come to know how many man hours have been spent towards this, and since your man hour rates are defined, you automatically know what is the labor that has been spent on this project. There is a work planner, there is a bill of material, as I said. So you can have the stock family, stock item, the quantity required unit, and at what days is it required. Because there could be a project which is like 90 days, and you require a particular item on the, like 70th day. So there is no purpose of buying it right now, so you will actually mark it as 70. And then the moment it is consumed, the job owner or the storekeeper keeps updating this, and then the consumption patterns for this job are also noted, and automatically the stock is reduced from there. Spare parts for this job, if you are spare part related thing, all the spare parts related to this can be documented here. And we have a customer module where the customer can log into the system. So at that time, if he owns the job and he clicks on the spare parts, he can actually see what are the spare parts you have mirrored, and also their selling price, not your buying price, but you can map the selling to your buying. So internally you know what it is. So these are the client visible files that can be done. So this gives a full detailed view of your jobs at any time. And once this job is delivered 20 years down the line, all you need to do is like type in the job number. Searching for the jobs is very, very easy. You can search it by client, you can search it by financial year, you can search it by client, product family, financial year, or you can just type in the job number and just say search. Search is very, very powerful in our system, so you don't need to break your head about codification or whatnot. And also there is a wonderful feature called QR codes, which is basically a barcode which is created on the fly. So if you create the job sheet code for 1, 2, and 3 jobs, right? This can be printed into your normal laser printer, and you can just stick it, or if you have a label printer, you can actually do it into a label printer, stick it on the job. So this particular QR code is very unique. So even 20 years later, if you're going to do a scan of this through your mobile phone, it works on a standard mobile phone, whether it is iOS or Android. The moment you scan on this and then you log in, you will come to this page of this job. So you can add tasks from there, you can add follow-ups, you can view pending tasks, because ultimately that's what the job owner has to do, right? All the tasks for the job have to get cleared off. So they will actually stand at the job and clear all the pending tasks. This can be customized to your need. You can use this for doing process labels, tracking labels, or mailing labels, whatever. And these QR codes are automatically generated in the system, so nobody in the backend has to create them. There is a bill of material feature. So with this feature, all the items that go into the job can be put up, and you can create variables. So here there is a variable called circumference, and with that there is a formula created. So what this does is, in future when you want to duplicate this, because it could happen that there is a duplication feature. So when, let's say that instead of a 300 diameter, you're getting a job of 600 diameter. So your material is going to grow up proportionately, whatever it is there. So wherever you use that formula, it is going to automatically update your whole costing. So that's the beauty of this system, such that your costing also becomes reusable. Now in this case, once we just say edit, right? Here you have created this and go to the material. So here you can just say, you can keep on adding. Adding is as simple as this. Again, you don't need to work on codification, because you can see the sorting. We can do sorting of 1 level, 2 level, or 3 levels. If there's a formula, that will be there, or else just do 50. The rate is already there and the factor is already defined here. You can say it is part of which assembly and on what day it is received. And then the moment you click refresh, the amount is automatically calculated from the rate and everything else. And then when you say save, this is now added to your costing. You can know now on a running basis what is the product cost that has gone through. And also you can add labor. So whatever work study was done, from there you can do a fitter. Could have a cost value of 2100 and a billing value, let's say, of 3000, and there are 20 of them. And then when you click on refresh, this is automatically done and your product cost is also gone there. So compared to an Excel, this is much more useful, because It is working across multiple factors. It is checking your stock grade, it is checking your quantity and everything else. So if your system is well defined, you can actually do the costing in a fraction of time as you would do in Excel, and it will also be more usable because it can be reused again and again. The same bill of material will be used for your material requirement planning, that is MRP. Yeah, so that's the bomb there. Now, we mentioned that there is requisitions. There is a the requisitions can be made in the system internally. So adding it as simple as plus. So requested by whom and requested to whom. And what is the stock family? What is the stock item? So the beauty part of this is it actually on the fly shows you on the system what is the latest stock of this particular item. Requested quantity 20 and remarks. So whoever has to approve this requisition will get the information and on that screen saying, why is it required. Here he would mention saying that maybe 90 numbers are required for this and etc etc. Then you have a very powerful feature called MRP, that is material resource planning. For adding this, all you need to do is just say add the particular jobs and then say consider the minimum order quantity of that particular stock item, consider the reorder level and consider the POs. Then when it is generated, you can see across this you can see the MRP table. So it will say for this particular item, this is your stock unit, then stock factor unit and stock rate unit. What is the criticality? For this job, you need 21, out of which 18 are consumed. This is 0, 0, etc. etc. So here, your total is mentioned here, need to order, none. Okay, so this is the summary of your MRP. It also considers what is the reorder level. It considers what is the MOQ. So if the storekeeper does this even once, your reorder levels are automatically checked and you can create POs. All you need to do from here is just say create. It will create a PO for this item, for this whatever quantity is mentioned there. So this can be fine-tuned to your requirement, but as from an Excel perspective, this is phenomenally useful because there is reusability of a lot of data that goes, which is not possible at all in Excel, or which is not possible at all with a human intervention, where a lot of effort has to go into this. This is simplifying those processes. So our idea is that by using the system, the people are not overloaded with work of data entry, but whatever they're entering is helping to solve their own work to be much easier. So when you see purchase, all your vendors can be seen, display all, right? You can determine what industry is he supplying for, what is his name. And again, as I've shown you earlier, when it's a vendor, you will see different, like for the client, it will be a client info where it mentions codes and all. For the vendor, it will be a vendor info. So the system is like very smart. Then in the stock family, we are creating a two groups called stock family, and then within that we have the stock item. So from the stock family, you will get an immediate thing what is the different stock items. For the stock items, you can know what is your quantity, stock unit, factor unit, etc. so that your valuations can be done. Stock items can be seen at a glance, right? So this is showing that this particular item, there is 79 numbers available. The stock rate is 1000 rupees per numbers. MOQ is 1, ROL is nil, factor is 1, and this is this. So with this way, now immediately if costing analysis has to be done, which is a report that can be seen, it will multiply 79 by 1000. So you know that 79,000 is your stock value. And the stock valuation can be done in real time rather than the last one. You can filter it also. So if you want to see only consumable gas, you can see that here. And that makes it much more useful. GRNs are done. And also, as we mentioned, the QR codes of the stock items can be created so that you can stick them onto that particular place. Very easy for generating this. The purchase orders are made in the system. Again, it's as simple as doing click, click, click. So if a storekeeper has to create a PO, he might do a plus there. He doesn't need to bother about the PO number and all, which is system generated. He will just choose the contact. The address is automatically coming. The email is automatically coming. The default CC is all automatically there. If there is a delivery terms, it will mention saying, wrap in gunny bag, etc. Transport instructions, if any. Internal remarks for approver, they may mention which job it is for. The terms and conditions are to be mentioned from the templates, which is again created by the user. So template would be there, could be terms and conditions, etc., payment terms and all that. And from here you're giving the covering letter. Again, you can customize it to what your company policy is. Adding items is as simple as this. Okay, in this case the system does not have the rate inputted in, so he might just write it there. Select rate unit. Could be that you're ordering it by numbers and the rate unit is in kgs. Could be possible either way. But because the rate was not there in the system, at a later date it will come in an exception report that this PO was given with the rate which is not matching the system. So they have to update the master table with the rate, and it should be done typically in a quarterly manner so that reviews can be taken up for each item. And then they just need to do a preview. So your PO is now created. Clicking on the PDF button generates a real-time view of how the PO would look like in a print. As we mentioned that the QR code is automatically generated. This will go to the vendor too. Of course, if the vendor has a login, he can check this PO in the system also, or this is only to be used internally. And then once it is ready, in fact, yes, you can also add attachments to this. Could be that you're giving a drawing of a particular item. You can attach the drawing along with the PO and then say send for approval. So this mail will be sent to the approving authority. All he needs to do is then review it. If he has to make any changes, he'll click on edit, and then from there the mail would be going to the vendor. Yeah. Any follow-ups that are done with respect to this can be updated here. All the contacts of that particular vendor is here. Any attachments will be seen here, and you can edit it till the time it is approved. Once it is approved, you'll have to go on to do the revisions only. So this way all the POs are like listed together. Again, you can do a sort by, or you can do a filter by the vendor name, so that across time you can see all his vendor. If you want to see the detailed view of the items that have been ordered, so you can see the PO number, vendor name, delivery date, status, and what are the different items that were ordered. So in a single page you can see that. Again, you can run all your filters from this. You can search for the PO number, you can search for the stock item. Suppose I don't remember which vendor was ordered particular item. So I'll just search this particular item name. I don't even know the item stock code maybe. So I'll just do this, and it will give you all the POs for which it is there. Goods receipt note is created from the PO. So when they need to do this, whatever item has been done, you can see that the GRN is created accordingly. This is made by the system. So if the guy has a tablet, he can just do it using the tablet. This way. So if the GRN is to be created for this, all they need to do is press a click, or when they do the scan, they do that. This is the view on your mobile. So it will say aluminum beading, this 79 were ordered for this date. 20 numbers is the stock requested. This is the closing stock, sorry. And so if the 20 numbers have come, this is saying that auto update of stock consumed, blah 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 blah. And then if you say 20 and say save, automatically the stock is now increased by 20, and the GRN will close the PO as finished. If it is not complete, then it will show it as partially done, and the closing will be done. Then there can be a stock taking done. This is done typically a monthly closing stock is there. So you can either do an add stock, consume stock, or closing stock. So when you do a closing stock, the person goes to the place where all the beatings are kept. He pulls this down and just goes on updating what is the closing stock. So now if the closing stock is different from the stock which is there in the system will put a suspense entry, and then again it will create an exception report where the storekeeper has to find out where the remaining items have gone. So the work will not stop, but the exception report will ensure that your totals are matching as of today, so that there is no misconception that 230 numbers, suppose now the stock is 210 when they're physically counting it. So the 20 numbers, they don't know where it has got consumed. So, but rather than putting the 20 numbers, here he will just say 210, and this will update the system. So there's a work planner that pretty much shows you all these. So this is your inventory and operations modules. The vendor, once he sends his invoice and you do the entry into tally, it will get pulled up here, and you can attach scan copies of all the vendor invoices, so that at a later date if you ever need to pull it, rather than going to the cupboard and again searching for it, it is much easier to come filter here and then just look for the vendor's invoice. Same thing to do with the payment. Once the vendor login is given, the vendor can go online and see all the POs that were given to him against those POs which bills of his have been booked. So if there's any difference, he can always do a reconciliation online himself without the accountant having to send the RECO statement again and again. In the collaboration, of course, my task will show all the tasks of mine which are either open or closed. So if I do display all, it will even show this one which are closed. In the task, there is a follow-up also. You can see the follow-up here. So the task could be something like, let's say, follow-up for payment with the client. So every time the accountant might not have a result from that, but there is of course the client might say that call after 1 week. So he will actually write a follow-up there and say called Mr. So and so, and he has told to call after 1 week, and then he will change this date to 1 week later. So this, at least the task will go ahead, and this keeps a track of all the efforts that have gone from his side, which will also help him to showcase to his management the different steps he has taken. Because step one, the results are important, but if results are not seen, at least the different methods followed are to be seen. Task can be assigned for everybody else. If it's a person from management, all the follow-ups that have happened across all the modules can be seen in one page in time-bound manner. So this will be very good, because if you want to see how effective a person was, you can just do a filter by his name. So you will then see that, okay, these are all the follow-ups that were done by the particular person. This is across modules. If you want to see related to an account, what are the follow-ups done, you can look at that too. No records found. So that's very easy. Sales comments will be for the sales people. Production comments will be for the production people. So that across all the jobs, it will all be seen in one place. Work log is something like an internal report that they need to give. Rather than creating it in Excel and sending it, they would rather do it in like in the system. You can create a template and you can put it there. So they would do it from here, write the subject, and then keep on saving it, so that their superiors can then know what the reports were. There is a service module which keeps track of AMCs if you have any, or the support tickets. These can be customized with the email parsing, such that if you have an email ID like support at whatever domain you have, that could made to come here automatically, and then they need to keep parsing it out to know what are the different actions that were taken, what is the follow-up that was done, whether it is a warranty clause or out of warranty stock, etc., etc. These are again the productizations, because firstly it is very important to create the data. So each of the items are created with masters, of course. So here when you have the product family, the product model could be the different models within that, and then images for that also can be put up. because ultimately they're going to be reused in quotes and everything else, and common specifications. So with this, we are doing a little brief of this. Finally, we would think you would need at least 3 months data for reports to be effective, but once that is done, your reports are very beautifully done in terms of a graphical interface, as well as you can drill down to going on the tabular form. But the graphical interface makes it very easy for knowing where exactly you are as far as the sales is concerned. If you want to check out the clients, you can see that how many clients were ordered, what is the different industries that your clients are with, what is the client revenue that you're having, what is your production. These can of course be customized to you. If it's a So in the different dashboards, each dashboard is related to a particular task only. This can again be customized. This is coming from the probability matrix where it's trying to determine 90% probability, how many in this month, how many in this month. So, and clicking on them will go to that particular list which is there. What are the comments that were made in the last 2 days? This is a quotation summary, how many quotes were made in the financial year, etc., etc. This can be a little customized to your need, which is relevant to you as per se. Then you can have tabular reports in terms of what are the different jobs in process, what are the inquiries, what are the different codes, what are the different pending tasks for this person, what is the number of tasks undone from each team member, what is the purchase orders that were released, the 5 latest, purchase orders not delivered, which were they, what is the stock received, what are the requisitions, what are the stock consumed, etc. These are very quick views of whatever is there in the system, so it becomes easier for the persons to track up. Then, as we said, the exception reports are made, which are again defined. We can come in detail about that later. And normal reports also can be created, which is there. So here, in this particular case, they were not defined, but this can be easily defined and done. You can change your company logo. You can add users. You can remove users. You can just do this, and across the team view you can do this. So if they take a printout of this and put it on the board, all the workers know that what task are they supposed to do for the next week or so, and that makes it easier. And once it is done, all they need to do is just tick on this and it changes the status. Next time it will not be there. So we've given you a very quick summary brief on this whole thing. We think that it's a very, very powerful feature. If an SME wants to grow into the next step, it is not a luxury, but it is more like a requirement. Tally is an accounting software, it is not an ERP. So using it is not as easy. In fact, the curve of using this software is much, much easier. We would think you would definitely utilize this to the best of your ability. We wish you all the best, and we do hope that you give us a call or you send us an email, and we will have a chance to work with you in the near future. Thank you.